queen in there. Although you're right, it could just be because of the honey.
But we'll see.
See the queen on the branch. There's not that many bees left on the branch. I don't see the queen. So she's
in there?
Probably well, she's on the ground or she's
Out.
out. You know, you can do this until you get. You can do this. I've rescued swarms like this and never gotten stung once. But once you get stung, or someone helping you get stung, once those distress pheromones are released,
Yes.
that's it. You know, all bets are off. You've got to wear a suit because the bees can smell those distress pheromones and they have chemoreceptors on their antennae that they follow the concentration gradient of the distress pheromone being released by the stinger that's in your skin. So once you get stung, once anyone gets stung, they can be docile. I've rescued tens of hives that, probably almost 100 of these hives like this, and never gotten stung. But the ones that you do get stung, when you get stung, that's it. They're onto you.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. I think they're starting to go in the box. I see them going in the box now. I want to get a lid on it so that I can't put a lid on it right now because there's so many on the rim of the box. But I want to put a lid on it as soon as I can so that they learn that the entrance is over there, not on top. I want them to go in the front, not in. And plus it'll help keep them warm. If I can get a lid on it, they'll stay warm. I've got to try and put that framing because the sun's setting. I've got to try and do that right now. Okay, I got one frame in. You don't want to smoke them too much because then they'll leave. You know, smoke is, the bees consider smoke, they evolved with smoke, and smoke in the wild before humans existed came from
Wildfires?
forest fires. And so they think a forest fire is coming. So you don't want to do this too much. Real gentle amount of smoke. Hopefully I didn't crush the queen. That would be not good at all if I crushed the queen. But I think you know, we'll let them see if they go in the box. And I got to try and get a lid on that thing. Now that's my next step. Get a lid on to keep them warm. If they're going to choose this as a home, they want to make sure that it's dry and warm, because they need to maintain the brood at about 95.4 degrees. They need to maintain the brood at 95.4 Fahrenheit. And if they don't have a lid on their hive, then it's obviously not very good insulation. In cold climates they use blankets, and they actually use insulation, more insulation to similar to what they use in houses. In between the walls of the hives, they have a double wall to really keep the bees warm. You don't have to worry about that so much here, but try and put a lid on this thing now without crushing a whole bunch of bees and without putting too much smoke. I'm not going to put this lid on yet, because this lid sort of goes over the sides, and there's a lot of bees on the sides of the box. Now I'm going to let them try and figure out the opening, see if they can. Hopefully the queen's in there and not on the outside. Hopefully she's on the inside of that box. I'll just wait till after sunset, and if they all go in the box, I'll put the lid on the box, and then at night, once they all go in the box, I'll put a piece of paper, once all the scouts return after sunset, and all the rest of the bees go inside the box, I'll jam a piece of newspaper in there and I'll take it to the beehives. I'll transport it, and then I'll transport it at night, take it to the hives, the hive location, and then pull out the paper, set it where I want it to be, pull out the paper, and then the bees will stay inside because it's nighttime. In the morning, they'll fly out and they'll begin to orientate to their new location. They begin by doing concentric circles around the hive. They get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they map their entire new location.
All the new locations of flowering trees and things.
Yeah.
Have you seen the collapse syndrome here on Maui?
I haven't seen colony collapse here.
Oh, that's good.
But as you said, it is a syndrome or a disorder, which is a collection of symptoms, and it isn't one particular thing. Like, for example, lung cancer. If you were to make an analogy, it's not lung cancer. It's chronic fatigue syndrome, which is like a collection of symptoms, and that's kind of what colony collapse disorder is. It's not one particular thing that diagnoses, but it's a collection of symptoms, and we haven't seen those things happening here yet.
I saw a documentary that speculated that it was related to a particular type of insecticide that was used.
Neonicotinoid. To grab her, you have to be careful. You have to grab her by the wings. She ran back into the center, like the bees like swarmed her and like pushed her back into the center of the ball.
Oh my God.
Like if I would have grabbed her, then I could have just put her in that box, and then I just could have walked away, and they all would have gone into the box.
Oh, she has to go in
If
first.
she's in there, then they're all going to go in. I hope they figure it out. But yeah, I hope she's in there. There's quite a few bees on the outside, but there's a whole bunch on the inside too. Trying to get them to go in there.
So you think that if the queen is in there overnight, they will...
Okay. Alright. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I think I probably should just, at this point, just let them go.
let them figure it out for
I
themselves.
mean, yeah. Like just come back at dark and see if they're in the box.
Right.
And if, if they haven't found a location by sunset, like if I for some reason did not get the queen in the box and it was earlier in the day, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever, if I for some reason didn't get the queen in the box and they were disturbed by my smoke or me doing so, they would swarm again.
Swarm again and find a different
They would go to
location.
another branch where they feel like they're at peace, and they'd find another temporary base station.
They look pretty comfortable right now.
And the reason they're not going to do that right now is because of sunset.
Ah.
So, regardless, they're going to be there, regardless of whether they're choosing that as their home or not. We can leave them here if you're okay with it. I can leave them here for the night. I'll let the Spencers know. But at night, they don't fly away from their queen anyways.
Right.
So
Okay.
there's going to be no issue for the Spencers until the morning anyways. So.
Okay.
So, but I'll let them know anyways. and then I'll come check on them when it gets dark and see what they're doing. I hope they go in the box.
Okay, I mean, this has been a very interesting experience.
Interesting for me too.
Great.
Very much so. And looks like you do have some blossoms on this tree, and I wonder if that's why they...
What attracted them?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave this lid right here. And then I'll just come back.
Okay, great. Thank you, Emil. And
Yeah, thank you. Well, we're not quite sure yet.
I'm not going. I'm going away now.
Yeah.
You have a bucket of bees.
But the sun has set, so it's they're not going to go anywhere for the night.
Good job.
Bees are diurnal. No, nothing to worry. Bees are diurnal, so they come out during the day. Nothing to worry about at night. They don't fly out of the hive at night. Thank you for.
oh, you're welcome, Emil. This has been very interesting. An experience I'll never forget.
With bees disappearing all over the world, it is great that we're
We got
documenting
healthy
documenting healthy swarms.
swarms here on Maui.
Well, at least if we know what the norm is supposed to look like, then we can better gauge abnormal.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if we don't even know what healthy bees are supposed to look like, which is most of the United States right now, they've lost 50% of. Read an article in the New York Times said they lost 50% of the entire population of bees between all the commercial beekeepers. They've had a 50% reduction in the last 3 years.
Whoa.
So,
And there's a lot of people who don't realize what the significance of that is for humans.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, all the
Significance, right.
crops that are
crops,
pollinated
and
by.
And you're correct. 1/3 of the world's food crops are pollinated by bees, and that's just human food crops. That doesn't even begin to. It's 70% of the world's flowering plants are pollinated by bees. So, like I said, the 1/3 of humans' crops is very, anthropocentric in the sense that, that we're so concerned about that because that's our food, but
Affects us
actually
directly,
it
but
affects the whole ecosystem because 70% of the flowering plants are pollinated by bees, and that that is significant. And even people think about meat, they think, well, or milk. Milk has nothing to do with bees. What does milk have to do with bees? Well, bees exclusively pollinate alfalfa.
Cows munch on.
Alfalfa.
Yeah.
And bees exclusively pollinate alfalfa. And without bees to pollinate it, there wouldn't be alfalfa. And dairy cattle are fed alfalfa because it makes the milk sweet. And we really wouldn't have milk if we didn't have bees. So it's not just there's not just the direct pollination that the bees are responsible for, which is 1/3 of the world's food crops. It's also 70% of the world's flowering plants, and it's other things that people don't think about, indirect relationships, like the bees pollinating alfalfa. And if we don't have alfalfa, we don't have meat industry, dairy industry.
Yeah.
Not that those industries are very healthy for us or our environment. Great.
Okay, well, we'll see you tomorrow morning, and
Great.